Hi, friends. This is Steve at New Compass Crypto. Thank you for joining us as we discuss one of the most intriguing blockchains in the crypto space, Solana. Solana is a very young blockchain. It was made, the first block was laid down on March 16, 2020, so it's a little just over 2.5 years old. It was made by Anatoly Yakovenko and Raj Gokul. Over the past 2.5 years, Anatoly Yakovenko has taken on much more of a CEO role, much more upfront. He's much more a presence on social media, discussing the upsides of Solana, kind of pumping it up at times, and also in dealing with his challenges. What makes Solana so interesting is that it's very fast and cheap as a blockchain. And it does this by using something called proof of history. Proof of history takes the hash, which is the secure portion of the entry into each blockchain, and it modifies it and turns it into a cryptologic watch. Therefore, each block created in Solana comes with a timestamp. Now, the way that I want you to think of this as if you had a newspaper and you took a digital photograph of that newspaper, and you did that many times over a period of months, you could go back and easily recreate the order of that newspaper, of all the newspapers and all the photographs by the date of the newspaper. That is the basic principle behind proof of history. Now, proof of work, which is what Bitcoin uses, doesn't use this at all. Proof of work, I want you to think of like this. If there were a train depot and there were a whole bunch of train cars that needed to get onto a single track, the way that Bitcoin does it is that it does one train car at a time. Each train car gets loaded up with all the transactions, thousands, sometimes millions per block. Each one has to be verified by everyone on the network, which is millions of decentralized computers around the world. And then the entire chain, the entire network, has got to get verified once again. So that entire process takes about 10 minutes, and it's a very orderly fashion. It happens first one, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. So it makes it very slow. It's about 10 minutes between each car that they get on the train and go down the tracks. Proof of history in Solana is very different. It appoints a leader, and the leader sequences and orders the transactions using the timestamps, so that they can be efficiently processed by the nodes, and it maximizes the throughput so they can get on the train tracks much faster. The verifiers execute the sections on the blockchain, and their copies are published as their signatures, as confirmation that that the verifications are real. So it is much faster. It also is, so how fast is it exactly? So Bitcoin is about 10 transactions per second, as we discussed. Ethereum is about double that. It's about 20 transactions per second. Visa, as you can see over here, Visa and MasterCard, now they say they have a maximum speed of 65,000 transactions per second, but it's not really that fast. On a normal day, Visa and MasterCard are processing probably between 4,000 and 6,000 transactions per second. On a peak day, let's say Amazon Prime Day, they're probably getting up to 20,000 transactions per second. So right now, we only have Visa's word that they can get up to 65,000 transactions per second. Solana does that on a routine basis. On a daily basis, it is between 50 and 65,000 transactions per second, blazing fast. Now over here, you're going to see that Ethereum 2.0, or the next level of Ethereum after the upgrades, that will eventually, they're saying, that it is going to get up to 100,000 transactions per second. Now, Ethereum recently switched from proof of work over to proof of stake and made it much more environmentally friendly, but it hasn't been made faster yet. Ethereum right now is still at 20 transactions per second, a long way from 65,000 transactions per second. So although Ethereum could overtake Solana in the future, right now, Solana is the fastest. Solana is also the cheapest. Visa is going to charge a vendor, if you buy something at a store for $100, and your vendor swipes your Visa card, it's going to charge your vendor about $3. Bitcoin is about 5 cents per transaction. By far the most expensive is Ethereum, and now you can beginning to see why Solana is very appealing to some people. Solana is Ethereum is somewhere between $5, $100, and at peak times, hundreds or even thousands of dollars per transaction. They're called gas fees. So is that really scalable? Are you really going to go into a store and buy a $50 sweater and then pay another $300, in gas fees just so you can pay with Ethereum? Probably not. What would it cost you with Solana? Well, with Solana, it's thousands of a penny per transaction. So it's incredibly fast and incredibly cheap. So it has some great tailwinds, both technologically and as a potential investment. We've already discussed that it's extremely cheap and fast. It's also very well funded. Alameda Research, FTX, which is headed up by Sam Bankman-Fried, and Multicoin Capital. So these are some of the biggest venture capital firms in the crypto space. They backed Solana. So this past year, when a lot of projects were really struggling financially due to the crypto winter, Solana was not going to go anywhere. It's safe financially. And it's become very popular with developers. It's now a top 5 developer community. Now, that's important because a blockchain is only as good as its community. I want you to think of your iPhone. Your iPhone right now, if you took all the apps out of your iPhone, all it's really good for is taking pictures and making phone calls. And who makes phone calls anymore? So really, you're going to be just taking pictures. What makes the iPhone so useful to all of us is the apps that are on it. It allows you to schedule yourself, pay your, do your banking, do everything that you need on it for your daily life. That's what makes it so interesting and useful. Now, it's not the same. A decentralized application system is not the same as apps for your iPhone, but the analogy kind of works, which is it only works if developers are writing code for it. And right now, there's about 500 developers that are developing decentralized apps on the Solana ecosystem. So it's popular. It also has a very easy to use wallet, and it's very user-friendly in general. But Solana has significant headwinds, both from a technological point of view and from an investment point of view. It has a high barrier to become a validator. It costs between $40,000 and $95,000 per year. And that leads to what some people are kind of criticizing as network centralization. If only wealthy people can afford to really do this and become validators, not a lot of people are going to do this, and it's going to lead to centralization. And it also has an extremely high wealth concentration of its coins, of the SOL coins, which are owned, a lot of them by the capital firms that invested about $150 million to develop this, and the early insiders, the owners. So about 45% are owned by that circle. And that also leads to what people are saying is centralization. The other criticism of Solana is that people are saying that it is a monolithic layer 1, meaning that it works great now when there's thousands of transactions per second. But what's going to happen in the future? Can it really scale to millions of transactions per second, which is what it would have to get to become very useful in the future? And another huge drawback of Solana has been network uptime. It has crashed 7 times since inception, 7 times in 2 3/4 years, including 5 times this year alone in 2022. So as it's become more popular, as it's become, as more people do gaming on it, more people buy NFTs on it, as more people have flocked to it, more traffic on the network, it's crashed even more. That's a significant headwind. It also hasn't fared well during the crypto winter. Bitcoin had a high of a little over 69,000. Now, all of crypto has gotten killed this year, but Bitcoin is still down 70%. Ethereum is down 68%. That's around what, Meta is down, Facebook is down for this year. But look at Solana is down 88%, significantly more than these two. And that is because there is doubt about its long-term viability. So we like Solana. We think that it can be a decent investment. However, there is something that I want everyone to keep in mind. Solana can't succeed if Ethereum also succeeds. Solana and Ethereum are competitors head to head. If Ethereum solves their speed problem and they solve their cost problem, Ethereum is going to dominate Solana, and Solana is going to completely go away. Ethereum and Bitcoin are not direct competitors. Both can thrive. Ethereum and Solana long-term cannot both thrive. Ethereum is also not an investment that you can just say, hey, I'm going to buy it at whatever price it is today and sit on it for 5 years and look at the price then. You can do that with Bitcoin and you can do that with Ethereum. You can't do that with Solana, because if Ethereum solves all its problems, suddenly one day there'll be no need for Solana or no need for pretty much anything else, and it will be worth, next to nothing. So thank you for joining us. I hope we've given you some insights into the uses of Solana, its potential, but also its drawbacks. And as always, we post our videos at newcompasscrypto.com on our website. Please join us on our YouTube channel and like and subscribe. Thank you so much. See you next week.